Okay, this is 1316 Trigonometry, Chapter 7, Section 3, this is Law of Cosines. I'm David Dipple, Lone Star College, Montgomery. Okay, with law of sines, we found that could be used frequently to find the missing sides parts of non-right triangles. Another option is the law of cosines. And again, capital letters are used for angles, lowercase letters are going to be used for sides. And the sides always correspond. A corresponds with little a, B with little b, C with little c. That's the same as it was in law of sines. Now, there's three forms of the law of cosines. They're similar to the Pythagorean theorem, is what they kind of come from. A squared is equal to b squared plus c squared. But there's a new component to it that's minus 2bc cosine a. Or you can put the b on the hypotenuse end, if you want to call it that, is equal to a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine b. And c squared is a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c. So it's a Pythagorean theorem with a component with a cosine in it. And if you'll look, if a is the angle, or side by itself, then you have B, C, B, C, and then the end is with the A. So if it has A on the side by itself, you'll have angle A by itself. If it's side B, you'll have angle B. If it's side C, you will have angle C. So that's how the formula can be memorized, can be associated. It's Pythagorean theorem. It's always plus, and then it's minus a cosine with the two sides that are together, and then the angle that matches the alone side. Now this will work for side, 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 and side angle side when the law of sines didn't work. It just speeds things up for those particular problems. Now suppose you have A is 8, B is 19, and C is 14. You can use the law of cosines in this case. Suppose you want to find the A first. You could have found the B or the C, it doesn't matter. I picked A first. We're going to go with 8 squared, that's our side, the 19 and the 14. So I just did the 8, the 19, the 14, minus the 19 and the 14, repeat again, cosine of A, because A was our alone side. If you square all that and solve it, you're going to have 8 squared, subtract 19, subtract 14, divided by negative 2, 19, 14. And then when you take the cosine inverse of that, you get 22.1. So A is 22.1. Now at this point, I suggest you just do that again with the law of cosines. I take the 19 to get my B. I take 19 squared, 8 squared, 14 squared, minus 2, 8, 14. Move the 8, move the 14, divide by 2, 8 and 14. And when you do that, you get cosine is negative 0.45. So B is somewhere fairly close to 116. And then you subtract from 180 to find the missing side. So I use the law of cosines twice. I don't jump back and forth between sines and cosines. You can. This gives you a more accurate answer, however. Now, suppose we have the problem where the flag is on the north side of a pond, tree is on the east side, and the fence is on the south side. And we have some numbers. From C to B is 178. From A to B, is that right? Yeah, is 455. And we want to find out how far it is across the pond. Well, we can take our angle and our sides and plug that into the law of cosines. So we have B squared, which we don't know. 178 we know, 455 we know, minus 2, 178, 455 cosine, and the side that's missing corresponds to the angle 103. So you just plug that in. 178 squared, 455 squared, 2, 178, 455, cosine of 103. Just type all that into a graphing calculator, and you get B squared is, I got 238,000. And when you type all that in, B should come out to be the square root of 277,000, which is 526.5 feet. So just type that on the calculator. That's what your pound should come out to be. Now, if you work through all of these, stop the tape or the PowerPoint if that's what you're doing online, whatever form. If you'll draw a triangle, plug in A is 20, B is 10, C is 7, you should get 4.2, 125, and 35. For number 2, 13.9, 22.5, and 39.5. For number 3, 24.4, 18.4, and 21.6. For number 4, 21.5, 33.5, and 67.9. 5 is 120, 21.8, and 38.2. 6, 52.4, 29.7, and 97.9. And 7, 13.7, 122, and 44.3. Hopefully I got all those right and typed all those answers in correctly.